All right, what's going on, guys? Episode number 8. We're back. This is actually an exciting episode. It's the first episode where the microphones are actually up and running.
Yep, they were for show every other time.
Yeah, they were just for the aesthetic of the podcast.
Yeah, just look a little professional, even though they didn't work.
Yeah. So it's been 3 podcasts since we kind of just sat down and chatted. We've had some guests on. I hope y'all enjoyed them. I had fun doing it. But, yeah, guys, I just got back from Tennessee. I was there for a week with the family. It was all right. I don't recommend going to Tennessee unless you want to live in the woods in a cabin. But
Or if you're of age.
yeah, even then, man, I don't know. It's just it's not my favorite thing. But it was cool. It was good getting away for a little bit, good taking a break from life. And we got some UFC tickets while we were down there. UFC Boston.
Yes, sir.
Officially got the tickets. We're locked in. I'm pumped.
Talk a little bit about your trip. What'd you get into?
I mean, we got down there. The place we were staying at was pretty cool. It was a cabin, and we kind of planned a bunch of things to do, but everybody would talk about, like, Gatlinburg. It's, like, this awesome place in Gatlinburg, this and that. And it was, like, kind of like a town, like an Ocean City, Maryland town, if you know what that is, kind of like a Myrtle Beach town.
Mm-hmm.
But it was in the mountains. And it was the biggest tourist attraction shit I've ever seen. There was literally Ripley stores. Every store was owned by Ripley's. Like, it was nuts. But no, we did some cool stuff. We went on this sky bridge that, like, led across from mountain to mountain. We did some cool hikes. The nature was awesome, honestly. Hiking is no joke. I did not realize that walking up a mountain was a task. It's not an easy ask, but that was fun. We played mini golf up in, like, this trees and in the woods. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
So it was like, there's like a ski lift type deal that took you up this mountain, like high up into the mountain, and then there's like a mini golf course on the mountain. That was probably my favorite part.
That's dope.
But when mini golf's your favorite part of vacation, that'll probably show you.
That's true.
I saw a really cool McLaren. Other than that, I don't know. I wish I would have went to the beach if I'm being honest here. But yeah, I mean, the best part of the trip was buying the UFC tickets, if I'm being honest. I've never been to Boston. You've never been to Boston?
No, I've never been to Boston.
Yeah, so I'm excited to go. Dana White's hometown. O'Malley Sterling.
Stacked card.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
stacked
such a
card.
good fight.
I'm so pumped. It's going to be a great time. I think we're going to be down there for maybe like 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably do a podcast down there. We got to.
Yeah, we'll do a pod down there, and we'll shoot some good content.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
O'Malley's boys are going down. I was listening to a pod. They do the pod with him, and they're going down. And the one follows me, so I might send him a DM, say, hey, you want to come jump on the pod, or like you want to meet up at the fight or something.
We'll stalk him. We'll find him.
Yeah, we'll find him. So that'll be cool. I'm curious to see when they release, like, who. I mean, a lot of big names are going to be there just chilling, so that'll be a good time. Probably spend a lot of money on food. It'll be good.
It'll be a good trip. It'll be something to film, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want to pull up that clip. So I woke up this morning to Ivan sending me a crazy Instagram reel. And so I've always been, like, I'm big into fitness and nutrition and stuff, and I've always, like, looked into all the products I use, and I always wondered, like, how did people, like, white as hell like me not use sunscreen? And, I mean, I don't know who these people are talking about this, but, I mean, it kind of backed what I always thought. So play the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Sunlight reduces the size of internal cancerous tumors.
I thought sun causes cancer.
Well,
Everybody
actually,
says stay out of the sun because it causes cancer.
that's right. They did a study at Baylor University where they took 2 groups of experimental animals. They gave one the standard American diet, which is terrible. They gave the other one a highly nutritious diet. Then they exposed both groups of animals to the ultraviolet rays of the sun. In the group on the standard American diet, 25% got skin cancer. In the group on the highly nutritious diet, not one animal got skin cancer. It's the way we're eating. Skin cancer is a relatively new phenomenon in the last 60 years or so, and yet our ancestors for hundreds of years have been living outdoors, working outdoors, and they didn't get skin cancer. It's a new phenomenon.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, honestly.
It's definitely interesting, and it's like it's not only that, but like there's multiple other diseases that, like such as like dementia, that weren't a thing 60 years ago, and it really does contribute to how we're eating in the regular standard American diet.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about this, and I just thought, I mean, I might just experiment for y'all. I might try because it's crazy because my whole family, at least my mom and dad, they both have had, like, bad skin cancer, things cut out. Like, Dad had to get, like, cancer treatment on his face because of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exact name for it was, but Mom said she thought it was from the tanning beds, and she does eat pretty clean. Dad still could work on his diet a little bit. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to think about it because I get burned as shit. Is that still okay, you think? I don't know.
I think it really comes down to just the food you're eating. Like, the cancer rate right now is about 0.5%. Like, it's pretty much 50%.
Yeah.
I think it's 48 or 50%. So it's like you pretty much have a 1 out of 2 chance of getting cancer at some point in your life.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just look at the people around you. You go around to the store, you go around and just look at people, and they're not healthy. They don't look good.
Yeah.
And it's just the food that we're eating. It's a ginormous factor.
Uh-huh. You know what's crazy? I don't know if there's any, like, real truth behind this, but ever since I started eating, like, the way I do now and eating a lot better, I don't get as burned as I used to. Like,
really?
Straight up, like, I used to get burnt bad. Also, I was young. I didn't care about sunblock.
Mm-hmm.
I do better putting sunblock on, even though I don't like to, because I know it's not good for you. When we were in Gatlinburg, I went out one day and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm gonna be burnt bad, and I was fine.
Yeah, you didn't burn much at all, did you?
Yeah, I haven't burnt like bad for 2 or 3 years now. Like, even at senior week. Well, I don't really know. Might have burned at senior week.
You
It
probably
wasn't
were
bad,
at
though.
some point, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that your diet's gonna completely defend you from the sun, but it definitely helps with the cancer aspect.
Yeah.
Like, and the same thing goes with, like, you know, healthy cholesterol. There's a lot of doctors that sit and push down that you can't have you can't have a high cholesterol, when legitimately it's the biggest contributor to how men make testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest contributor to your brain functionality. And what you're seeing now is a new phenomenon. Just like skin cancer, there's dementia and Alzheimer's. That really wasn't a thing 60 to 80 years ago.
Yeah.
And you can look into this. And what you're seeing now is people are being thrown on this cholesterol medicine. And what's happening is it's not only destroying your body's cholesterol, it's destroying your brain's cholesterol. And your brain is consistently made out of 90% of white matter, all made out of cholesterol. You start destroying that, now you're seeing people's brains fried. Now you're seeing Alzheimer's, dementia, and all these diseases, and people are slowly dying to where 60 to 80 years ago, it wasn't a thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that, I mean, we both have people very close to us.
Yeah. It
that
happened
have been
to my
affected.
grandma.
Yeah.
Like, it happened to my grandmother. She had a stroke earlier last year, and I go down there, and I see that she's on 5 different cholesterol medicines.
Yeah.
The doctor just loaded her up, and she was only on the medicines for 3 months.
Yeah.
So in 3 months, she went from being a completely normal, like the grandma that I grew up knowing, to a dementia patient.
Uh-huh.
In 3 months.
Yeah.
They absolutely destroyed the white matter in her brain, and she will never be the same. And it's one of the only times I've truly came unglued, understanding how Big Pharma actually works.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. I mean, this leads us good. So on the recent Joe Rogan podcast, they were talking about how no one ever seems to bring up the fact that all these school shooters have been on these medical prescribed medications, or I don't know what the name for it, doctor prescribed medications, and
Those prescriptions.
Yeah, the prescriptions. Big Pharma doesn't want to talk about this, and it's like these people that are probably already mentally ill, probably already not doing good for themselves, and they're given a drug that might affect them, an antidepressant or whatever it may be, and it's like if they're already not doing good, and then they start taking that drug, and then it just makes them nuts, or they just like stop taking the drug, and then that makes them nuts. Like, it's just a crazy thing.
Or they start clashing the drugs, you know?
Yeah.
They throw them on one antidepressant, mix it with another. They don't know how that affects
Mix it with
the
some
brain.
non-prescribed drugs,
Yeah,
too.
mix it with the kid that's going through puberty. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, now he's a nutcase. No, I wonder why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you don't know what 1, 2, 3 pills does to someone. There's no research to sit and say that, oh, this pill combined with this pill on this archetype of human with this psychological problem is all going to have this one certain outcome. It doesn't exist. So to sit and stack kids up, give them this, give them that, give them this, and now it's a discombobulated society.
Yeah, and I just want to say this, at least from my perspective, and it's like I'm not out here shitting on doctors. Like, I'm sure there are doctors out there trying to do good and do better.
Well, yeah.
And I think, you are too. And I think it's a weird, like, pyramid scheme kind of thing where it starts as, or I think it's a weird thing to where they're learning to make us, they want to make us live longer or something along there, but
yeah, I can see
they don't look at the quality of our life. That's the big determining factor. Like, I was just talking to Bethany, and my sister, vegan, shout out Bethany. I never shouted her out on this pod. She wasn't too happy about that, but I was talking to her, and I was like, man, I'm not big on the medications thing, and she's like, yeah, but we're living longer. And I was like, well, the quality of life. And she kind of did agree on that. And she works at a hospital. So that is so true, though. Our quality of life, our autoimmune disease, our these new diseases, skin cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, these are all new in the last 60 to 100 years. And when you go look at these tribes and people who are still living off the land, they don't have things like this.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think this also leads us good. So same podcast, Joe Rogan was talking to Robert F. Kennedy, whose uncle is JFK, who many of you all know. So Joe gets called out by pro-vacciner Peter Hotez, saying in his last podcast with Robert F. Kennedy, he's using misinformation. Joe tweets back offering $100,000 to debate with this guy. I saw Tate put $500,000 on the line.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I saw a few other people put like $600,000 on the line. Like, they all want to see it.
Really?
And I thought, I didn't listen to the whole pod, but I watched some of it to prepare for this because I want to talk about it. And it was just, I just couldn't, I don't care what you do. Take the vaccine or not. It doesn't matter to me. I'll like you the same. I don't care. I don't have a side or whatever. But it's like this Peter Hotez guy. He was standing up for something to make your health better. And, dude, nobody wants to look like this guy. Yeah. Nobody wants to eat like this guy. He says to Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan asked him what's he do for his immune system. And he says, well, Joe, I'm not going to lie. Pull up a picture. He said, I'm not going to lie. I like those bag of chips. I like that shitty food. I'm a big junk food guy. And he talks about him and his daughter going to Shake Shack. Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to be able to hear you. You're not on the mic, though.
But it's like, you know,
people.
Obviously he's older. Obviously he's not in that greatest shape. And, you know, that has something to do with his age. But it's also like,
I could also just pop a picture up on the screen.
yeah, you can do the same thing. I just wanted to see what he looked like.
Oh,
I've never
you're
seen him
good.
before. But yeah, like, he's not in shape. He doesn't advocate anything other than taking a shot.
Yeah, taking the vaccine.
Like, it doesn't even make sense. You sit there and advocate, okay, take shots, take this, take that, take this, and, you know, all this man-made stuff rather than actually just practicing a healthy lifestyle.
You know what he went as far as to say?
What?
He said vitamins, the studies and facts behind vitamins are not there. He said, I don't know if he used the term there's no benefit, but, and he said from someone, literally in this podcast, someone recommended to him that wasn't in healthcare, wasn't a doctor or anything, hey, you should probably take some vitamin D and vitamins because you're eating this way. And he said, I did it. So, bro, it pissed me off so bad, man. I like living by, if you wouldn't trade places with someone in life, then probably take their advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You know?
Or just don't take it.
Yeah, or just leave it in the wind, you know? But yeah, that was crazy to me. So I hope they debate, because last time he was on was about 4 years ago, before any of all this pandemic and
So
this
was
and
that
that.
like the COVID shot?
It was flu shot.
Oh, it was flu shot.
I wish I could play that clip.
I've
I
never
had it.
taken a flu shot before.
Oh yeah.
Never.
I took them till I was maybe like 15.
I don't ever get jabbed. I've never taken a COVID shot. I've never taken a COVID test. I've probably taken a flu vaccine at some point in my life. Never taken it. Not in the last 10 years though.
I'm never taking one again.
I mean, I haven't gotten sick in God knows how long. I don't get sick, so it's like I eat good, I work out, I'm healthy. I'm 19 years old. If you're getting sick every other day, like, you got something going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you and Coastal, obviously, you're sick all the time. You're around a bunch of dorks.
Yeah.
But
yeah. and like, for me, like, I got the vaccine, and I got so sick.
Yeah.
I was so sick in week afterwards, like, it was, like, either right before, I think it was right before wrestling season when this happened. And, like, I was in shape, like, good shape. I got up out of my bed and could barely breathe from the time I got out till I got to my toilet, which is literally, like, I can shoot a basketball to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was that was the worst I ever felt. I was like, dude, I'm not taking a week to where I feel like this again to get something stabbed in me by the government.
Yeah, you were down for a week, didn't work out with me for a week, and then you finally came back after a week.
I was messed up.
Dude, it was terrible.
It was so bad.
I was looking at you like an injured freaking deer.
Yeah, it felt like it. You remember how gassed I was?
Yeah, doing bench press.
Yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we were sitting there doing incline, dude. You got like 6 reps, and you're like, oh man, I can't.
And like you said about Coastal, it's so crazy to me because people never know what good feels like, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, like, I went real extreme into dieting and health over the summer before I left for college. And then I got there, and I'm not going to say you don't have an option to eat healthy at college. You kind of do. But I wasn't eating healthy, and I was eating the school food. And, man, my health, my mood, my mental health was just, it was crashing. And, like, I think food for me is such an important thing because I just know all the benefits from it. And, like, I think everybody out there needs to at least try it. Like, do a strict diet that's healthy. Hit me up. I'll help you out anytime. Well, I might as well just shout out. I'm personal trainer at Brett's right now. Hit me up for that. We'll get some workouts in this summer. We'll get the physique you want, make your life better. We'll talk about diet. It'll be a good time. Just hit me up.
And the physique you want, the goals that you want to achieve, he can do it 100% of the time. You just have to listen to what he's telling you.
Yeah. We take all the work out of it for you. You just have to show up.
Show up, put in your full effort, and then when he writes you a meal plan and he tells you what you need to do, you need to stretch, you need to do this, you need to get up and do that. If you do it, it's going to work 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so, yeah, also another interesting thing on the JFK pod was just talking about the Robert F. Kennedy podcast with Joe was that all the JFK stuff and that rabbit hole and
that was
how
a
he
super
believes
interesting thing.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I feel like we might have even seen glimpses of that same kind of like, hey, I don't think this is right with Trump as president. You know, like he was making money off China. He was I don't know too much information, but he was doing some things that we hadn't done before. And then it almost seemed like he didn't have a shot to win this last election.
Yeah.
We don't have to get too political, but it almost seemed like similar. Listen to the Robert F. Kennedy podcast.
I think what was very different about Trump, he was the only U.S. president ever who didn't need any campaigning money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, usually, not to get super political, but every other election ever, they had to raise money from other super rich and famous people. To where Trump didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
They had no control, and then all of a sudden now he's indicted.
Yeah.
And now he's...
Yeah, I think that's some of his downfall because he was kind of rich, he was kind of famous, and then he became president, and then he found out, oh, Twitter's pretty cool. But, you know, I don't know that our president should be on Twitter, but whatever. Oh, well, we're not going to get political. But you want to pull up that Tate thing. So if y'all know Andrew Tate, he just did like I think his first podcast since getting out of prison with
he actually just got convicted.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he just got they finally actually accused him of something.
Oh,
so I'm not sure if that means he's going back to jail or what, but they're actually like they're trying to put a case together.
Shit.
But this is what it's for. It's for human trafficking and rape.
Oh, yeah?
The guy has CCTV video all over his house.
I know.
So I think their little story about the him making an organized group to steal money from TikTok girls would have been more effective than that. Because you can sit and prove it. Like,
I'm really curious what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you can sit and watch. Like, he has.
I really feel like him
cameras.
and Tristan shouldn't have talked about how I really think Tristan shouldn't have been like, I want to go to jail with him. I want to do these things, because they're gonna try to separate them.
Well, and they did.
Yeah.
So it doesn't quite matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They'll find a way.
But yeah, play the monkey thing.
Have you ever seen the experiment? There's a really interesting experiment with monkeys and a banana and a water spout. Have you ever seen this? They put 5 monkeys in a room, and at the top of the room there was a banana. And when one monkey tried to climb up to get the banana, they turn on the hose and splash all the monkeys with ice cold water. So the monkey would come back down and wouldn't get the banana. And when another monkey would go to climb up, they'd splash all the monkeys with ice cold water. And what would happen over time is, when a monkey went to climb the rope to get the banana, the other monkeys would jump and pull him down and hit him and teach him a lesson. Don't go for that banana. If you go for that banana, we get splashed with water. Then they'd swap one of the monkeys out. Now there's a new monkey in the room who doesn't know the game. The new monkey would attempt to climb, and all 4 monkeys would attack the monkey, pull him back down, and kick his ass. He knows if he climbs the rope to get the banana, he gets attacked. He doesn't know he gets splashed with water if he gets the banana. He doesn't know the game, but he knows if I try and climb, they're going to attack me. After a certain amount of weeks, they change another monkey, and another monkey, another monkey. Over time, you have 5 brand new monkeys who have never been splashed with water ever. But nobody goes to climb the rope, because if they do, they're attacked by all the other monkeys. And nobody even knows why. Damn. That's just how it works.
All right, I'll go ahead. Honestly, I was showing my mom, I was showing her the podcast topics last night, and we kind of talked about this for a while. And she was like, I don't really understand. And I told you this earlier, but I'll kind of explain my views of how I thought about it. And she was like, I don't understand really what he's getting at there. And I was like, well, in my opinion, going up and getting that banana is becoming rich by the age of 30, becoming healthy, becoming you don't have to go to college. You can start your own business. You don't have to live by the rules of the system, you know? And that was just kind of my thoughts on it. And then I liked what you said about the entrepreneurship, because thinking about it right now, it's like they never talk about starting your own business or becoming an entrepreneur in high school.
Yeah.
When kids are making that life step, you know, to move on to the next level.
And that's done by design.
Yeah.
It's fully done by design. You go to school between the hours of 7 and 3, and you're on a time clock. You know, that's your 9-hour day.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're trained since kindergarten to live on this shift, this work block. You know, you have your lunch, and then you go back to your brick walls, and you learn, and it sets your life up. It conditions you.
And then you get some fun at recess.
Yeah, you get a little fun, and then you get back to work, you know? So it's like, it was all done by design, and I think what he gets at when he talks about the monkey going and reaching for the banana is no one truly wants you to get it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because even if the monkey were to get the banana, they're all going to be pissed off because he's the only one that has the banana.
Yeah, and they don't think it's possible for you to get the banana either.
They don't. And you sat and all the monkeys at that point have been conditioned not to even go for it.
Yeah.
Like you get told and you get shunned down by everybody around you. Like you go and you're like, "Hey mom, I want to do this. I want to start this company. I want to be super rich. I want to, have a good life. I want to.
I don't want to trade time for money.
Yeah, I don't want to go to college. Like that happened with you. Mm-hmm. Hey mom, I don't want to go to college. Whoa.
Yeah.
They start beating your ass because you're reaching for the banana.
Uh-huh.
You know? So it's like, and honestly, any true goal like that, like whether it's like going to the NBA, going to the NFL, like not everybody supports that. Like Aaron Rodgers had the one story where it was like he I think 16 people in his college class failed a paper, and 15 out of 16 got to rewrite the paper except one.
Yeah.
And it was him.
Yep.
And his teacher was like, "You spoiled football playing brat. Like you think you deserve this, you deserve that." That's beating his ass for the banana because his goal was to go out there and get it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people around you will sit and shun your great ideas, shun your ambitions, shun things that truly make you happy, and they verbally beat your ass and put you down.
Yeah. I think kind of like a lot of the things we talked about and how we kind of loop everything and how we think is you got to start thinking for yourself. We talked about this before, man, and it's like, stop watching the news. It's not doing you any good. Stop looking at these unrealistic either girls or physiques or men or whatever on TikTok or Instagram that's just making you feel awful. Like, cut out the media, and if you want to know something, do some research and do more than just a Google search. Find somebody who's an expert, ask them, or I don't care what subject it's in that you want to get better in or you want to learn something, but just because one person told you this or anyone told you this, and obviously if it's someone you look up to or someone you trust, yeah, listen to them, take it. But at the end of the day, you gotta take things and figure them out for yourself. And I think that's where we get a lot of like how we think and do things, because we're like, well, that doesn't make sense to us, but some people it makes perfectly fine sense to. Like when I was talking to my mom about the banana and that message, and I was like, well, yeah, obviously you look at it a lot differently than me, because if you look at your life, it went well, you're happy with where you're at, you have a good life now. So obviously she's going to look at it much differently than I do. And we just kind of had a friendly debate about it, and that was cool. But yeah, start doing your own research, start figuring things out for yourself. Social media and the things they blast out and push onto you, it's not always the right thing. Well, maybe it is. Maybe we have no idea, but do your own research. And
do your own research to find out.
Go down the path you want to go down.
Figure it out, but like, don't sit and be Matrix mind, robot mind, and be told to believe stuff. There's a lot of people that have opinions about other people. Like here's an example. Andrew Tate. Like a lot of the times, like you ever watch like that guy go up and be like, "Do you like Andrew Tate?" And then the girl's like, "No, I don't like him. Wow,
yeah,
he's a misogynist."
Yeah.
Or what'd he say? I don't know. Cause you were just like told to think something.
Yeah, that's very true.
And people do that on a large range of their entire life. Go to school, go to college, live this lifestyle. And I'm not even dissing on anyone that wants to do that. I think that's perfectly fine. We need people that do that. So like I don't even think that's a bad thing. But it's also like, don't be forced by others to decide that life for you either. Don't pick that job that you don't like just because it looks better, for your mom and dad to brag about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you're sitting there and being matrix-minded. You're being told how to think rather than thinking on your own.
And then it's like, even on a smaller scale within your family, like, I feel like a lot of kids just, whatever political views their parents have, they take them up. Whatever diet their parents eat, they take that up. Whatever jobs their parents have, they're more inspired to get. Whatever their parents do, they're more inspired to do. So it's like, yeah, that's great, and I would hope most of the parents out there are trying to be a good role model and trying to show their kids the right way, but times are different. Yeah. We're growing up ages and years before they did, and times are different now. And ultimately, like, in my scenario, like, my parents wanted me to go to college. They thought that's what was going to be best for me, and, like, They want what's best for me. I know deep down they do, but it wasn't making me happy. And this lifestyle I have now, like, I love it. I'm working, and it's all on me. That's what I really like. Wherever I end up now, it's on me, Yeah. I took a different road, and it's on me. But
performance-based.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it's at.
I feel like it really took a long time, and even going to college and realizing for me, like, hey, there's a different path. I want to do something different. This isn't fulfilling to me. And I got to talk about that too. So my mom was like, she was like, because I said, well, Mom, what if you were offered $300,000 a year and you didn't have to be a teacher? What would you do? And she was like, well, I would have probably taken the money. But she was like, and I was like, well, she was like, well, it's not all about money. You need to be fulfilled with your life. And I was like, yeah, I agree. But I was like, what percent of people who work do you think are fulfilled with their job?
Yeah.
I was like, maybe 20%. She didn't seem to agree, but that was my thoughts. And then she goes, well, I would say more people who go to college and get a degree are fulfilled with their life. And I was like, I kind of think the opposite, because it's like, you go into college, you probably go into debt, and then you're stuck with this certain letters or numbers or fucking piece of paper that tells you what you're able to go and do.
Yeah. And one qualification.
And say you go do a trade, you learn that skill, you then are making money immediately, or within 6 months, you're making money. Say you hate your job, you then know that skill and can go start your own business, or go back and learn another skill. You have money, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's super, like, the college debate's like super. It's interesting because it's like, I think everybody can sit and agree you'll never be the same person you were when you were 18 to when you're 30.
Yeah.
So for me, like, and at least how I thought about it was, it's super hard to think that, like, when I'm 18, I want to do this one career path, but when I'm 30 and I finished paying my college debt, and I'm working this job that I may or may not like.
Yeah.
To just go back to school and learn something else?
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense to me.
That's the tough part, because then you're like, okay, let's do it all over again, and now you're 30 with debt.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
I wish we had numbers. I wish I would have looked into this more, but it's like, I wonder what percent of people who go and get a college degree end up in that career path when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, that's a crazy thing to me.
Yeah, because it's tough. It's like life changes, your circumstance changes, and it's very tough to, like, get a job in a very particular field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost rare. And, like, it takes a long time. And if you're on a money crunch, it's very rare you can even get a job in that one specific field you have. Like, my girlfriend, for example, it took her multiple months to find a job in her one specific field.
Yeah.
It didn't just happen overnight. You don't get out of college and bam, you have a job in your one specific field lined up.
Yeah. Gonna move on to the next topic.
We had
guys.
we cut out a little section. It was an interesting section, but we're back.
Yeah, we're back. All right, so we kind of talked about everything serious on this podcast so far, so we might as well just. I don't know if this is true. This is an interesting story they put in the news. Don't watch the news, but I thought this was pretty interesting. So, woman declared dead in Ecuador revives during her wake. Authorities state knocks on the casket. Korean woman, 76-year-old woman who is declared dead at the hospital, astonished her relatives by knocking on her coffin during the wake. The government is now investigating the hospital. Daughter says, my mom started to make sounds. She was wrapped in sheets, and when we approached the coffin, there was heavy breathing. Wow.
So was she like alive?
Yeah, she came back to life.
Yo, imagine just like
that would fuck you up.
Bad.
Yeah. Well, it probably not. You'd probably be happy as shit.
Well, yeah, you'd be super happy, but it would be like the biggest plot twist of your entire life.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine, like, the grieving you would be going through, and then, like, bam.
Let's go.
Never mind.
He's back.
Never mind.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I saw this one story. It was like this guy. He faked his own death to, like, teach his family a lesson. So I guess he was like.
It's a hell of a guy right there, man.
Yeah. So like he completely faked his death.
Oh yeah.
And I guess his family wasn't reaching out as much, and they weren't getting as close, and like the whole family dynamic was starting to fall apart.
Uh-huh.
And the guy just faked his death.
Oh yeah.
So they were all at the funeral, like, grieving this guy, and then Bam just flies in on a helicopter. and he like steps down, and like the whole family's like going crazy, and he was just like, oh, this is your life lesson, you know, you never know when
something may go wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a crazy story.
Yeah, this is crazy, man.
Waking up.
This starts knocking on the casket.
Yeah, imagine you're at your funeral, you're just grieving. Help!
Or imagine she was like out of it and just wakes up and like is in dark space and realizes she's in her casket, bro, and starts freaking out.
You're just in a box.
Yeah.
What happened?
At least she wasn't buried yet.
That's a horror movie.
That would have been murder. Probably is going to be attempt to murder.
I mean,
or something.
Nah, because no one would know.
Well, no, the hospital obviously didn't do their job right.
Yeah, that's probably a lawsuit.
Yeah. I mean, it's in Ecuador. I don't know what goes on over there.
Yeah, they're goofy anyway. It doesn't matter. But, do we have any decent messages to relate out to the crowd? I think the podcast covered, think for yourself.
Yeah.
Watch your diet. Live a healthier lifestyle. Don't listen to what the media fully tells you, because at the end of the day, your thoughts are your own. The media doesn't look in the mirror, and they're not in your shoes. A lot of the people that you let dictate your life and dictate your opinions and how you feel about yourself, they don't wake up in your shoes. They don't understand the life you live. You live just as complicated as a life as anybody else.
Yep.
So go out there, just know your worth, and just become a better person.
Yeah, I agree. Just you got to make yourself happy. You got to do what is fulfilling to you, not what somebody's telling you or thinks is going to be fulfilling for you. You got to do what you want to do. I thought that was a fun podcast. It had some interesting topics. These are all things we're interested in. We're not pushing you on one side or another. These are just things we're interested in. We like talking about. We like looking into. So yeah, this is kind of exactly what I wanted stuff to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, some funny things that are happening right now.
Yeah.
Interesting things.
So I hope y'all enjoyed episode number 8, Be Better Podcast.